Hello, everyone. Hello. I hope you can hear me. How is everyone on this lovely Friday? As usual, I'm just going to check my phone and make sure that I can see me because I'm doing this from StreamYard, so I don't always get to see who's on Facebook watching. So if you're on Facebook, please pop in the comments that you're saying hi, and then I'll get back to you later because I love saying hello to everyone. And this one today is all about the festive season. Yes, I can see myself. Woohoo, look at that. I can see myself on there. That's good. It's all about the festive season. So I wanted to put something out there that helped us all breathe and relax about always feeling the pressure of having to commit to buying expensive presents or feeling like you've got to keep up with everyone. And you just see it. We're inundated with ad after ad, and at the moment in Australia, we've got Black Friday sales on because America's had Thanksgiving, and we do have a lot of Americans that live here, and I love that they celebrate Thanksgiving, but I still find it very weird that we have Black Friday sales. And again, it's just everything's forced on us, isn't it? So I wanted to do a little 15-minute presentation today with you guys about how to have a little bit of a money mindset around the festive season. No matter what you celebrate, whether it's Hanukkah, whether it's Christmas, whether you don't celebrate, whether you do celebrate, whether there are birthdays, whether there's Thanksgiving, all of those sort of things. Let's call them festive because that's when people get together and have a good time. And let's have a look into it. So I will enlarge my screen here and hopefully everyone can see that. And we will get on with it because, as I said, I want this to be short and sweet and punchy. And as usual, please put hashtag replay if you watch this later and let me know what you thought about it as well. And also what you'll find is if you go into my YouTube channel, I've actually done some other work in there too on money mindset in a bit more depth. So yeah, if you'd like to take a look at that, please do. That'd be great. All right, let's get going. So money mindset around the festive season. We're going to look at the festive pressure, setting your financial boundaries, mindful gift giving. Now, if any of you have been watching my TikToks or any of my stories, you'll see that I've been putting helpful tips out there for everybody to think of other ways that they can provide gifts and, just meaningful things to their family without having to spend huge amounts of money. And I have no problem with spending huge amounts of money. You've got it, do it. But I don't want anyone to feel pressured to do it. That's the whole point. Alternative celebrations, staying true to yourself, and managing expectations. Most of you know me on this group, but I'll just say it anyway. Hi, I'm Fiona, and like you, at this time of the year, I can feel pressured into spending money and the guilt of, have I done enough? Now, especially with children, with young children and parents, we feel that we've got to give them hundreds of gifts. I see people in shopping centres walking around with trolleys filled to the brim, like 2 trolleys, walking around with all of these gifts in there for their children because they feel if they don't give them all the gifts, then they are failures as parents. Well, let me tell you something. Definitely not. If you put pressure on someone, you try to cause that person to do something by persuading or threatening them. Now, that's what the meaning of pressure is, the definition. And I just want that to sit with you for a moment. If you put pressure on someone, you try to cause that person to do something by persuading or threatening them. And threat is that's a big word. So it's not quite that people are threatening you, but with all of the ads that we see on television, everything that's going on, we do feel pressured. And it is a bit of a threatening situation. Have you bought this for such and such? Have you bought this for such and such? The pressure is on. And what I want you to do and what I want to help you to do is step away from that pressure and just find some other ways of feeling comfortable with what you are spending and not putting yourself into huge debt, because that's what we want to try and stop. So to understand the pressure of spending, where does that come from? How do we recognize it? Do we even acknowledge it? And how does it make us feel? So when you're thinking of going out and purchasing your Christmas presents, or thinking of buying, the Christmas tree, or whatever it is that, I'm talking about Christmas because I live in Australia. So please forgive me if you don't celebrate Christmas, but put it around the festive concept of what you celebrate. The pressure of buying the food, the pressure of, being that person and hosting and having all the right things. Is it really, really important? Now, if it is important to you, because there's lots of people that really love this time of year and really love doing this sort of stuff, have a look at the way that you can do it and best afford it. And remember, how does it make you feel? You shouldn't be going into that day of celebration feeling absolutely exhausted, absolutely broke, and absolutely, your heart's just like, you're just flat. You're just like, you've worked so hard, you feel exhausted, you feel like you've got nothing left. And then also sometimes you feel like you don't really get the thanks that you thought you were going to get. So I want you to think about all of that sort of stuff and allow yourself to sit with it for a moment and think, how can I make a difference this year to the way that I've felt in previous years? Setting yourself financial boundaries. Now, this is something that I think is so important. And I know every year you hear this on the radios, you hear them on podcasts, you hear them on the television, and everyone's talking about it. But honestly and truly, this is the best thing to do. And this is with anything, with any type of big expenditure that you're going to do. Even if you're going to go and purchase a new car or do something like that, don't let the car salesman talk your budget up because you want something else. Go in with a budget, go in with a cost in mind, do your research. So establish a festive budget. Make a list of the people you want to buy a present for. Follow that list. That is key. It is key to absolutely everything. Make a list and follow it. Because when you go to that shopping center, when you go out into the world, you are going to see people going crazy with the spending. And do you know what? That just psychologically puts pressure on us to say, are we doing enough? So if you've got a list and you've made a list and I need to buy presents for these people, and you've set a budget beside each person's name of what you're going to spend, then do you know what? You will do that shopping in such a different frame, such a different mindset towards the money, towards that person, towards the giving. Think of a gift that would suit that person. Try to think, will they get value from it, or am I giving them something for the sake of it? Do you know what I mean? Because a lot of the time, and again, especially with children, I'm going to relate this back to children, is when we buy, a child the fire truck, we then go, oh, but if they've got the fire truck, they're probably going to want the ambulance as well. The child doesn't necessarily know that it wanted the ambulance. It's us thinking that if we don't buy them the ambulance as well, they're going to think we're not very good. But you wait, they'll get the fire truck and think that's awesome. So it's all about creating that mindset and that calmness with yourself of going, do you know what? I've made the list and I'm sticking to it. So example down here, I laugh at this because I'm sure there's people out here that will have the same experience. When my boys were young, they would open the box with the truck in it and then they'd play with the box for hours. Has that happened to anyone else? Does anyone else recognize that as something that they've seen? They might have seen their grandchildren do it. And we put so much emphasis into buying, the trike that they're going to be on and that they're going to love, and they're going to remember this first trike that they had forever. And they unpack it, they jump on it for a moment, and then they go back and they play in the box for hours because it's like a cubby house. So just think about what you're actually giving that person. Are you giving it for something of the joy that you're going to see them have with it? Or are you giving them something for the sake of it because you feel that that might be the right thing, because you feel pressured that you've got to give them more than what they might actually just really want or need? Mindful gifting. Memory making gifts. Now, I did mention this on my little 30-second bouts of tips. And I think this is such a good one, especially for children out there who feel that they've got their pocket money, they've saved it up, and they want to go and spend the money, but they don't have a lot of money to spend. for your grandparents and your parents, or just the caregiver, whoever it is that looks after you, you putting a photo, and I know we've all got photos on our phones, but go and print one out, pop it in a little frame and give it to them. And I guarantee that the value that they will see in the thoughtfulness of you giving that gift, and that you can buy the photo frame for like $5. It doesn't have to be much. But the whole process of you doing what you've done, you've taken some care, you've taken some time, and you've considered what you're actually going to give that person, their appreciation of that is going to be beautiful. Event tickets. Now, I know that some event tickets can get a bit more expensive, but remember, this can be a shared experience as well. It can be something that you can do together. So, like, for example, my husband loves going to the Big Bash, which is a cricket, just in case people don't know what that is. It's cricket. Every year they do it, cricket over here, and it's a bit like going to a baseball match almost, because they literally just smash the ball out of the park as quickly as they can. He absolutely loves that. So every Christmas, as a family gift, we purchase some tickets and we go down to the Gabba and we watch a Big Bash session together. And it's a family moment and it's beautiful and it doesn't cost a fortune. But it's an event that we can all do together as a family. And it's part of our Christmas celebration and we love it. Charitable gifts. Consider making a donation to a cause that aligns with a person's values. Now, I love this idea. So if you've got someone, you've always got those people who say they've got everything and they don't need anything. So, like my mum says that, yeah? So what I'm going to do this year is I'm actually going to get a donation to the RSPCA, get that right, and I'm going to make a little gift donation to that and then give it on behalf of Mum and say, there you go, Mum, I gave a gift to them because I know that's something close to your heart. So all the cats have got some new beds for Christmas or whatever it is. And she'll love it. She'll think that's such a lovely idea because people just don't think like that. So there's lots of different things that you can do. And as I'm saying that so that you don't get too stressed about, not thinking that you've got to spend lots of money. Staying true to yourself. I know we spoke about the boxes for the boys. So think about they got the toy, they took the toy out and they play with the box. But what would happen if you wrapped, and this is for children, if you wrapped 6 boxes that got smaller and smaller and smaller, and inside was maybe a matchbox car or a hot rod or a doll or a packet of pencils and pens with colouring things, and you saw the joy in the child's face as they were unwrapping the 6 boxes. And then they get to the little gift and they go, cool, it's a doll, it's whatever. And then they go and play with the boxes. Imagine the joy that you're going to see in the children's excitement of unpacking those boxes and it gets smaller and there's a lovely little gift inside. And then you watch them go and play with the wrapping paper and the boxes and they can create something. Maybe you even build a cubby house together or you build a doll's house together out of those boxes. That's what I'm talking about, is staying true to yourself and being honest with what you can afford and how you can do it. And by writing the list, it's going to help you a lot in staying in control of it. You see, we as adults think, oh no, it's not enough. But I want you to think, is it? Or even just ask your children. So this year, the boys in my family, they're much older now. They're, right up in their high teens. And I was like, well, what do they really want? So I had a discussion with them about what they wanted. And now they're not sure 100% what they're getting yet, but they gave me a couple of options that allows me to then make the choice of what I feel comfortable in purchasing. And they've done exactly the same with me. They've said, Mum, what would you like? And I've given them some options and, diverse options. So things from, $5 up to $100, say. And they can then go and spend what they feel comfortable with and in control of. Because whichever item they get me, it's what I wanted anyway, so I'm going to be really grateful for it. What was the last present and I asked them this, that they remember getting that made them feel excited? And I want you to do that with your children as well. Because do you know what? The boys really only remember presents from maybe a couple of years ago. So all of this stress that we put on ourselves about buying the fire truck and about buying the ambulance and about buying the Barbie doll and about buying the the pencils and about buying the Derwents and about, buying the phones and about buying the Nintendo Switch and about doing all this sort of stuff, the children don't remember it. It's us putting the pressure on ourselves, thinking that we're not keeping up with the other families or we're not keeping up with the requests of what other people are giving, rather than actually staying true to ourselves and what people actually want. If your child gets heaps of joy unwrapping a box, then give them a big box and build something with it. It's a beautiful thing to do on Christmas Day. Managing expectations. This is key to reducing stress. Talk to your children, your partner, your friends. Feel out what it is that they are wanting or expecting. And if someone says, not much at all, I've got everything, do not jump into the guilt feeling of, oh, well, I'll get them something anyway. Think of a meaningful gift. You might have a super photo of the two of you or doing something together from years ago in the frame. Talking is key, especially for younger children. Children don't compare. It's us as adults that compare. And if they haven't got 20 gifts under the tree, then we are failing. And that's not true. It is not true. Children don't know how many gifts any of their friends get. Young children don't go to kinder and go, oh, guess what? I got 20 gifts. And someone else goes, oh, I only got 5. They walk in with that favourite gift that they got at Christmas time to go back to kinder, and they go, this is what I got and I love it. They'll have one thing that they take with them that they really loved. Teenagers, as I said before, talk to them, include them in the process of gift giving. Get them to spend some money on buying a gift, and if it's their own money, even better. Because what we're trying to do is install the fact that they've got control over their money as well, and that asking people for ideas of what they actually want and setting themselves a budget helps them to not go through the stress that we may have gone through as younger adults and also now as parents. So let's do a quick recap. Use the list for gifts and for food. Set a budget for each gift. Put thought into the gift before you go shopping. Do not feel guilty for not spending huge amounts of money. Talk to teenagers and other adults about what they would like. Do a group gift to increase the amount. Now, this is something that I hadn't mentioned prior to this, but this is something that I think is key to most things. So if you've got a teenager that says, I want a phone, yeah, because we all know what teenagers like with their phones. I want a phone. Then what I want you to do is I want you to go to your partner. I want you to go to your if you've got your mum and dad's still alive, got grandparents, aunties, uncles, brothers, sisters, anyone, and say they want a phone and it's going to cost $800. If we all chip in together and put $20 in each or $30 or whatever it is, we can then get them exactly what they want. And you can do that for each teenager in the house. And then they get that big gift. They get the one gift that they really, really want. That one gift they're going to walk around and hold on to and go, yeah, I got the phone that I've always wanted. And it's going to be really, really good. And it reduces the pressure on everyone else trying to think of what they should get too. So doing group gifts is an amazing thing to do. And the last thing is, don't leave your Christmas shopping right until the last moment, because then you won't have a panic purchase. And if you do leave it to the last moment, make sure you've got a list, because if you've got a list, then you're still not going to feel the pressure of actually overspending or breaking that budget that you've set yourself. So there you go. I said to you it was going to be a quick one today, and please note that I am here to support you in any way that I can. I absolutely love talking about money mindset and giving people some helpful ideas. Well, hopefully there's a helpful ideas about how to spend your money. And I know it's your money, and I'm not talking about how to spend it. That doesn't sound quite right. I mean, how to feel in control of spending your own money. And maybe there's one or two ideas in here that you just hadn't thought of, and you go, that's a great idea. And then I feel great and my job is done. So thank you so much for watching today, and I look forward to speaking to you again very, very soon. And as I said, if any of you have any questions or you want to see anything more about money mindset, I've got videos and things like that that I've already set up that I can talk to you about. I'm really passionate about people feeling good about themselves with how much money they can afford to spend, because that shouldn't be a judgment, a harsh judgment on yourself. And we are often the harshest people to judge is yourself. But don't compare, stick to the list, do group presence, and talk to each other. All right. Thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye.